Gamers, we have gathered here today to discuss the future of Age of Empires 4, tournaments, new civilizations, and my stream and YouTube. And I got some bad news. You're stuck with me for a while. The plan for me for the rest of the year, just to give you guys a small update, I am going to be playing Stronghold. If another game comes out, I'm going to be playing that. But I plan to fully stream and upload YouTube content into 2024. Entering 2024, mid-2024, I don't know, right? But I am probably going to be doing AoE4 content for at least a full year plus. So that's the bad news for you guys, because you're stuck with me. Now, let's talk about something else. So there's been a lot of discussion. Obviously, the devs have been quiet. No announcement if they're going to be at Gamescom. No announcement of new civs. Nobody knows kind of what's happening. So I kind of wanted to give my take on that. I know nothing behind the scenes, so I'm not trying to sneakily leak something or whatever. I'm just going to give you guys kind of my take on it and what I'm hoping for and so on and so forth. Last year, Malian and Ottoman were announced at Gamescom. But before that, it was kind of teased a little bit, right? That it's coming. That something was coming. Now, I don't think anything has been teased. Technically, there's still time, right? I don't know when you're watching this, but technically there's still time. So who knows? Now, what I'm hoping for, we will get new civs. And obviously, Gamescom would be a very good place to announce it. Hoping. My hopes or copes, I don't know what you want to call it, aka hopium, is that because the devs have been silent for so long with like no roadmaps, I am imagining, I'm thinking that something is coming, whether that's new civs or perhaps some kind of free-to-play like AoE 3 got. If you don't know, AoE 3 is having like a trial version now for free or something that you guys can try out if you want to. But it brought a lot of players in. So maybe they're cooking something like that. I hope so. The worst case scenario is obviously there's no civs and there's no talk about free-to-play and there's like no patch or something, right? But I'm pretty sure there's going to be a new patch at least when the season ends, because they've been doing patches every end of the season, like a major one. But the way it's lining up is it's coming around the same time that we got new civs last year. So that's kind of what I'm basing my expectations on. Like, it's been almost a year. The tournaments are supposed to start soon. Maybe the tournaments are going to be with the new civs. Maybe that's why there was a break with the tournaments. I don't know, right? But I do hope that they announce something in Gamescom, whether it's free to play or the new civs. And I would say if they don't announce anything in Gamescom, then I'm kind of getting worried a bit, because if you don't use the opportunity of Gamescom, it's literally like the biggest gaming convention in the world, right? If you don't use that opportunity to make an announcement of new civs or new something, then when are you going to do it, right? Why am I mentioning all this? Well, I've seen not recently, but for a while, RTS gaming communities are pretty doomer, I would say. Like, games dead, games dying, there's nothing, there's yada yada. And let me tell you, as someone who came from StarCraft 2, StarCraft 2 was abandoned by Blizzard, when was it, 2017 or 18? 17, 18, maybe 19? No, it can't be 19, I think 18. Got abandoned completely. ESL took over, community tournaments took over, and StarCraft still has tournament, and it has viewership, and it has everything. Now, I've noticed a little thing in AoE 4 that's happening is the biggest tournament organizer by far, it's not even close, is obviously Pesty with EGC. And I feel like everyone's been waiting for him to make something, right? Where are the tournaments? Everyone's looking at Pesty. You know what I mean? And I don't mean to call out anyone specific. I just want to use the example of StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2 has been dead for a while, but the players are having tournaments all the time. They're hosted by the community. And they have been supported by the community or by sponsors or whatever for a while. I think that the whole community needs to do more of the community stuff. Whether it's like someone that just wanted to organize the tournaments, start throwing down the tournaments. You know, try to crowdfund the tournaments. Try to, obviously, if you can get sponsors, great. But I think that crowdfunded tournaments are possible in A4 because they are possible in StarCraft 2 and they've been possible in other games. If anyone plans to organize, I will always promote the tournaments. I've always done this in A4. So if anyone plans any tournaments, I will always promote them, help get crowdfunding for them, whatever you need. Like, there's also people that in the community are willing to cast tournaments, but we gotta all do it together. Now, I'm not gonna just put the blame, I'm not trying to put the blame on anyone. I'm not saying tournament organizers gotta do more stuff. The players gotta be more active in participating in these tournaments. They gotta be more active in promoting these tournaments. And not just like, yeah, I'm gonna play tournament in 2 weeks. Be like, yo, this Sunday there's a tournament, tune in. Yo, this guy's hosting a tournament, make sure you tune in. Because it's like an ecosystem and everyone needs to work together for the community events to happen, to make something happen. My point is that we shouldn't just wait for Pesty or just wait for Microsoft or Relic to do something. Pushing them with a stick, like, come on, make a tournament. I hope that Microsoft and EGC still host tournaments and organize and everything, but they shouldn't be the only ones doing stuff. Now, I've said this already on my stream, but I've had a lot of IRL stuff to do in the past month and a half, 2 months, government documents, stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I didn't even consider organizing tournaments because I thought there would be a lot more community organized tournaments. So what I did is I organized a shit ton of FFAs for the community. People enjoyed it. I made a lot of guides, yada yada. But if I could go back, I would probably try to crowdfund a tournament and organize like a bigger tournament to have something in the downtime and invite players to help me cast, maybe help me organize, and so on and so forth. And this is something that we can do, I think, a lot more. Remember that just watching the top players for the game to succeed is not enough. In order for the game to succeed, obviously you want to support people at the top level, but you want to support the people under them. So whether they're tournaments or just watching them or whatever, helps the tournament organizers. So again, this is not just to call on tournament organizer. I hope the players get involved more into promoting stuff. I hope the tournament organizers work with players and casters and everyone works together. I hope the viewers tune into as many events as they possibly can, even if it's maybe not your favorite player playing, right? But you got to give it a chance to make something out of it, right? The more events we have, the more people will be inclined to watch them, the more people will be inclined to organize them and play in them. Because I don't think we should have a tournament every day, but if we have consistent tournaments, like, oh, this week this is happening, this week that is happening. And these tournaments, by the way, they don't have to be like one-on-ones only. You can mix in team tournaments, you can mix in that tournament, this tournament, fun modes, Empire Wars, and so on and so forth. So for example, just to name a couple that have been happening recently that I hope, I don't know if mods have links for these, but if anyone has links, please feel free to share them in the chat. So for example, we got Blade from NA that's organizing a tournament for the NA and SA players. That again, just tune in. I'm not gonna guilt trip people to donate or whatever, but just tune in, check it out. Tell them thanks for organizing these tournaments, because a lot of these guys are using their own money and the support from their communities to organize them. Then we got Chum from France that's organizing tournaments for EU-only players. I've played in the first and the second one, and I hope that not only people tune in and donate and watch, but I also hope that more top players participate in those. Even though the prize pool, I think, was in the first and second one, it was $80 for first place. I played because I streamed it, I helped them promote the event. I told them, hey, it's going to happen again, guys, tune in. There was no official casters for that event, for example. And I hope that someone takes upon that and has an official cast for his event. Because again, in order for the community and for all of us to succeed and to have tournaments, we all got to contribute something. And again, the least I can do is obviously I'm going to keep making content. Anyone that makes tournaments, I will help you promote them. On my stream, I'll have links of them on Discord, whatever. Now we do have, by PM 303 is hosting a show match for team players versus my team that's going to be happening on 2nd and 3rd of September. We have that going on. We have Corvinus, aka X Salami, that is organizing arena mod show match. Some of you may have seen it, some of you may have not seen it. It's basically like a micro arena. It's going to be a 2 versus 2 versus 2. He's organizing community events between like his subs. He's organizing like a pro player conquer tournament this Sunday. There it is in the chat from him as well. I think it's Sunday the 20th it's happening. And if we had like these events more often, and now we've had like four events coming in the next 2 weeks, and that's great. But I feel like we had like a period of like month and a half where just nothing happened. And like I said, it's very important to get these things going. And I hope that more people tune in, more people contribute in whatever way you can. That doesn't mean like just throw money at the tournaments. I know some people in my chat and other chats have said, yo, I want to donate X amount for a tournament. If that is the case, like, talk to Pesty, talk to me, talk to some tournament organizer that if you wish to donate something like that, can help you organize the tournament. They can help you find the casters, whatever, right? Because right now what's happening is a couple of days ago, we've had this discussion about me organizing a tournament. And if there's no tournaments once I come back from Gamescom, I will probably organize one. But there was this discussion. People were like, yeah, I would donate. But I feel like there's no kind of known incentive, or people are not really, knowing about them or not involved or whatever. I don't know. I'm just trying to, let's start paying more attention to that. I think now AoE 4 player-wise, I think we've had recently more players tune into the game. And the last time I did calculations, we had like 12, 13,000, or I think it was 11,500 or 12,000 players logged in at any moment, because about 20-25% of the players are from Game Pass. And we know that from AoE 4 World. So, like, the player base is there. We just need to pay more attention to, again, not just organizing like these high-level esports tournaments. Not just that. We need to pay more attention to organizing fun events. Again, whether it's like, Empire Wars or the arena mod that Corvinus is doing, or some kind of Nomad tournament. I've seen, I think it was Mr. Merlin who organized the micro map tournament. There's Rising Empires, of course. I forgot to mention them. They're organizing tournaments. And I think all those are pretty important. Like, whether the tournament is for $10, $50, $100, or 5,000, they're all equally important in my eyes, because Rising Empires, for example, is obviously like taking donations and stuff for the tournaments, but most of the players that you see are up and coming are participating in those, right? Because they get some ATR points, which is tournament points for better seedings. They get some money, but the top players aren't participating. But those kinds of tournaments are very important for the players to grow, is I think important. And again, the last one that I mentioned, I think it's also important for the players to participate in these. So I know in the past there's been like a fun tournament and some players were like, it's just $50, so like, I don't want to play for that. But we can go from 0 to 10 million, right? Or we can go from 0, let's make it realistic, to like 2,000, 5,000. You gotta do the $50 one so you can do the $100 one, so you can do the higher ones. And I think the players should also participate more in trying to help contribute and grow the scene, because at the end of the day, if it's like a one-on-one tournament, or even if it's a fun tournament, like, people want to watch their favorite pro players, whoever they are. and support them in whatever way possible. And obviously, last but not least, like always, you know, if you can, tune into other streams. Like obviously I've been, you know, streaming a lot, and you guys tune into my stream and you guys watch my videos, but I think it's also important to watch other people's videos, other people's streams. Obviously not when I'm live, because, you know, I gotta vacuum all the viewership. But I think it's also important to support everyone else, because if you have one streamer that has a lot of viewers and then everyone else has nothing, it's not good for the game. So that is it. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about, what I wanted to mention. Again, I'm hoping the new civs get announced. I'm really hoping. And if that happens, I would assume that the new tournaments will be happening with the new civs. I'm assuming we would have a major patch, which would be obviously great for the game. And I am really hoping, after seeing what AoE 3 has gotten in terms, I think they tripled their player base. I don't know what their player base is now, but they tripled their player base after they got in the trial version. So I really hope that, maybe not like next month, but I really hope that at some point that comes from AoE 4 as well, because a lot of people don't want to commit to buying the game fully without trying it first. AoE 3 dropped again. I'm sure it did, right? Because the initial peak will always go down, but I think it's still very good for games to have at least a trial version. Maybe not make it full free to play. I think having something like for AoE 4 where it's like free to play for quick matches and custom games, and maybe you can play like 2 maps of campaign, and if you want to play ranked, or if you want to play the rest of the campaign, you have to buy the game. I think that would be I think that'd be great, like I said. So, new civs. I mean, again, I have no info regarding the new civ or civs, whatever you want to go after. But I hope there will be new ones, because we know that whenever the last time, someone can write it in the chat, you probably know, but the last time we had new civs, which is all Ottoman and Malians, the player base, I think, went up to like 35,000 or something like that. So, and the game was still in kind of like a Pepega state in terms of like bugs and stuff. And now I feel like that balance-wise and gameplay-wise, game is in a pretty good state. But we need something to get the players back to give it another chance to try it again. So, yeah, that's kind of it. We will see what happens. But like I said, no matter if the new civs get announced or not, or any massive changes, I will be streaming AoE 4 into 2024 and onwards, and that is it. Also, I have a channel on my Discord. I'm going to show you guys in a second. I have a channel on my Discord right here. I have a channel on my Discord where you can see like the upcoming tournaments that are happening and stuff like that. It's in the stream schedule. I should probably change that to tournament schedule, but you have links there, and mods usually add the new tournaments. We need to add Corvinus's tournament, Blade's tournament, and you guys can keep track of those there. And that's it. If you're watching on YouTube, let me know what you think. Thank you for watching as always. I hope you have a great day. Check me out on Twitch. I'm probably live right now playing the new civs. If you're watching on Twitch, let's keep going, brother.